And as you arrive, give yourself a minute just to undo any kinks and find your sit bones, your ischial spines, and connect them into whatever you're sitting upon. And taking a moment to arrive on your mat today, wherever you are in the world, letting mind, body, and spirit come together in this moment. And coming back to your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. In today's class, the theme is going to be celebrating how far we've come. And for me in particular, this is apparently, because Facebook always knows, the 5-year anniversary of when I became a yoga teacher. And it was remarkable to look back on, one, what made me become a yoga teacher, and two, what I've done with it since. And when I first started teaching yoga, I followed all the rules and did it exactly the prescribed teaching way. And I don't do that at all anymore. And what I think is so beautiful about yoga is that it really is the beginning of a transformation for so many people. It's the beginning of getting to know yourself again, and the beginning of connecting with your body and learning to be on the same team as your body. And it's also, for most people, a conduit to big transformations once they settle in and allow themselves to enjoy yoga as it's meant to be. And so we will enjoy yoga as it's meant to be philosophically, which is a mind-body experience. It's not about exercise. It's not about stretching. It's about learning what feels good for your body and learning how your body works and growing. It's specifically about growing your heart. And that is in the philosophy of yoga, and certainly in the philosophy of everything that I do, and something that is very needed in the world today, and also within each and every one of us as healers, mothers, daughters, sisters, whatever we are, whatever role we have in the world. Having a full and healthy heart, not just physiologically, but emotionally, is key to moving through the world with intention. And yoga is very much about shifting your perspective so you can grow your heart, to crack open what many of us describe as an encasing on the heart, where it feels tight and squished, and allowing it to grow and make heart-centered, open-hearted decisions for your life. And so with that invitation, grounding your ischial spines into the earth, and tilt your pelvic bowl forward and grow tall towards the sky. Reach that crown of your head as high as you can, like a marionette, and take a huge breath in and out. And flip your palms open on your thighs so they're palm up in that receptive, inviting, open-hearted, but also open-minded, just open. We call it palms wide open in mindfulness, willing to experiment, experience, and perhaps see things in a different light. Coming back to the breath, pouring in the breath into your fingertips, all the way down through your heart space, out your arms, into your fingers. And letting it come out, reverse. And this breath, sending it all the way down into your toes. Letting it out. One of the things I learned in yoga teacher training was about the breath, nothing I learned in medical school, but that most of us only use 30% of our lung volume in our breathing. And so as I share this, breathe in deeply, using more than 30%, not torturing yourself, but gently increasing that lung volume on the inhale and on the exhale. And as I've moved through my yoga journey, I notice more and more how many people in the world hold their breath, especially physicians. And making sure that you begin to use your breath as a tool. It's a physiologic tool to shift oxygen and carbon dioxide, but it's also nourishment for your body. It's nourishment for your parasympathetic nervous system. Even more important than food, and something that's available all the time. So the invitation from this class is to celebrate the breath. Bring the breath with you. Enjoy it. Remember you have it. Use it for you. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we'll bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Hand to heart is one of my favorite things to do. And just noticing that tactile sensation of the bottom hand on your heart, pressing the heel of your hand into your heart, releasing oxytocin, sending yourself kindness and good wishes. One of the main tenets of yoga is kindness, and kindness to self. It's also do no harm, or ahimsa. And many of us as physicians do no harm to others, but we do great harm to ourselves. And the invitation in yoga is actually to do no harm to yourself first. And so with hand on heart, kindness and non-judgment for perhaps the years of not treating yourself well. And an invitation brought by yoga and by me to move forward, treating yourself better. At least not being mean to yourself. Could you move forward with kindness and compassion? We know self-compassion releases oxytocin, circulating that around as a tool to become the best, wisest, happiest, healthiest version of yourself. Breathing in and spreading that oxytocin around, celebrating it and enjoying it. And exhaling, releasing any of the old stuff that might get in the way. Notice for a moment the fullness of your heart underneath your hand. And I will say my heart is very full today. I'm just finishing up a week at Sagrada with 7 lovely women physicians, and we practice yoga twice a day, which I'm offering today in honor of that Sagrada experience, and it fills your heart. And yesterday I did another one-day retreat for a pediatric group. One of the physicians was my intern in my very first year of attending Hood. And so it was a very full circle moment, leading to a very full heart. And so noticing whether your heart feels full, whether it feels tight, whether it feels empty, and perhaps setting an intention to do something today that will fill your heart a little bit fuller. And notice as you breathe, there's room for your heart to fill, to expand, to soften. And as you slow down, there's time for your heart to fill. Perhaps setting an intention to give your heart a little bit of time to fill, to step out of that urgency and into the slowness. And with those hands wide open, as I mentioned, just see what happens. If you don't like it, you can always go back, but I don't know anybody that goes back. Breathing in through your nose into that slowness and fullness in the heart space, sending yourself love, kindness, compassion, hope, inspiration. The other invitation I wanted to share at the outset of yoga is that yoga is a practice. It's not about perfection. It's about evolution. We say evolution is the antithesis of perfection. So it doesn't matter how you do the poses. What matters is that you're there in your body, being present, pausing, enjoying, experiencing. The joy is in the presence. The noticing is in the presence. And the evolution and transformation of your body, your mind, your spirit, and ultimately what comes from that in your life is what comes in the presence. Yoga is about an hour of presence, not an hour of exercise, though you get exercise along the way. Breathing into the palmar surface of your hands through the heart, sending it out through your hands and out. And we'll bring our hands together, rubbing them together, creating some heat on this fall morning. Bringing thumbs to your sternum and fingers reaching up. And take a moment here to close your eyes and set an intention. An intention for this hour, an intention for your week ahead. Telling your mind what to focus on, what to filter things through. What might you like to experience more of? What might you like to celebrate? And as you choose that intention, noticing how far you've come, not how far you have to go, but how far you've come in this journey we call life. All the amazing things that you've achieved and accomplished and experienced and shared. The laughter, the love, the beauty, the nature. Taking a moment here to receive and appreciate, enjoy, and celebrate all of that. All of the humans in your life, the healing that you've done. Whether you're ready for something new or not, celebrating that whole journey, all of it has been part of your journey. And the practice of yoga is a journey with you and your body, experiencing this moment in time, whatever it looks like for you and your body today. Connecting with that intention on the inhale. Exhale, release, let it go. Press your thumbs into your sternum a little bit more firmly. Connecting to yourself. One more breath here. Big, juicy, delicious inhale. And exhale, lower your hands, release the breath, and just enjoy as you open your eyes. Let that light filter back in. Notice how you feel. And we'll bring our hands to the sides and lift your shoulders up towards your ears, scrunching them up, and drop your occiput into the shoulder blades and enjoy that release. Exhale, drop, and enjoy. Just take a moment to notice how you feel. Inhaling your arms up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms towards the sky, and we'll do a little shimmy, growing long in our side body. And exhale, round forward into a seated cow, enjoying every nook and cranny of your back, sending that sense of pleasure and stretch, maybe tightness, but welcoming the stretch. Inhale, reaching tall once again. Enjoy your belly. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, reaching up once again. We'll bring our arms out to the side walls. Palms will be facing the side walls, wrist flex. Pinch your scapula and enjoy the tightness. Exhale, release. Turn your palms to face the front, and you're going to pinch your scapula back and draw your arms back about 6 inches in this huge heart open, wide. Heart is shining forward. Taking a moment to let in all that you have done, all the amazing, beautiful things along your journey, how far you've come. Exhaling, round forward like a giant beach ball is coming in towards you, gathering it up and holding it for a moment, enjoying it. And reaching your arms out, once again, your heart's going to shine forward. Your hands might come a little bit farther back, opening and stretching those chest muscles. And round forward, huge beach ball of gathering all the wonderful things in your life, taking a moment to pay attention to them. What we pay attention to is our life. Exhaling, as you open, you can imagine yourself releasing stuff that you'd like to let go, maybe a little bit like beautiful bird wings. I've spent a lot of time with gorgeous birds in nature in the last week. Rounding forward, huge beach ball, enjoying it. You may notice your shoulders here as well. Open your arms out to the sides, sitting tall, find your center and your belly. And we are going to come into eagle arms. You're going to wrap your right elbow under left, palms will face the wall, the back wall, and then bring your hands together in whatever way feels good to you. Inhale, lift your elbows up to chest height and pause here. Enjoy and celebrate that beautiful feeling between the scapula. Sending it the breath, inviting it to soften, appreciating that those shoulders have helped us tremendously to do all of the things that we've done in our lives to help us get here. They've held children, they've done procedures, and they've certainly held a lot of stress as well. Inhaling and bathing them with the oxygen and some softness and kindness. Exhale, release. Press your elbows in opposite directions into one another and just notice that tiny shift, big change. Release. Huge inhale. And we'll exhale, round your elbows forward, drop your head and neck, and release. Coming back up to neutral. Untangle your arms, press your palms into the sidewall, pinch your scapula, release, and wrap in the opposite direction. Left elbow under right, palms will come to the back. Hands, palms might come together, or thumbs, whatever your body does is totally fine here. Huge inhale, sending the breath into the interscapular muscles. Appreciating their journey and your journey, integral together. We're often mean to our bodies, and yet our bodies and we are on this journey together, inseparable. Perhaps choosing to treat them with kindness is an invitation of yoga, shifting your focus so your heart will grow, shifting your focus so kindness and peace will grow. Softening that hypervigilance, that anxiousness, growing and building trust. Press your elbows in opposite directions. Release. Inhale, lifting up an inch. And exhale, round forward, release and melt. Send the breath like honey or oil pouring over any tight pockets. You can envision it here. Exhale, release. Coming back up to shoulder height. Untangle your arms, stretching them wide, 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 and you'll lower them down. Giving yourself a minute to enjoy the tingles. There may be plenty of them. Notice if you want to roll your shoulders to release anything, you very well might. And we'll come to sit on the earth, stretching your legs long. You can move your block out of the way, move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Connecting your ischial spines into the earth. You will tilt that pelvic bowl forward. Your belly is engaged, and notice your toes. Your toes are going to spread wide, each and every toe engaged, and enjoy the energy of your toes. Yoga is supposed to be fun, and we use our toes. The pediatrician in me loves toes. In fact, I got this fabulous video of my grandson yesterday, who clearly just discovered he had toes in this video. It was awesome. And so appreciating your toes like he was, in that you've never seen them before. And these miraculous things on the end of your feet, they help you balance, spreading them wide, enjoying their energy. Engaging your belly. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, and exhale, fold forward. Release your back, release your head and neck. And enjoy the energy that runs through the back of your legs here. Yoga can be a practice of joy, can be a practice of feeling good, pouring those feel-good moments everywhere. Doesn't have to be serious. We can just enjoy, have fun, celebrating the fact that we have bodies that function mostly well, and that they allow us to go places and do things that we love, and appreciating the tiny little things like these toes. Sliding up your shins to your knees to your thighs. We're going to take our hands and plant them behind us like cupcakes. Don't smush the frosting. Press your ischial spines into the earth. You're going to press your knees down. Your heels will pick up and your fingers will press down. Elbows will straighten. Coming into Dandasana, staff pose. Huge breath in here, pouring it all the way in through your open chest into your belly. And exhale, let it out and release everything. We're going to do that once again. And as you Engage everything, owning all of those things that you've done. Inhale, creating room to fill your chest with the breath and the sense of accomplishments and achievements and all the things that you've done. Notice your brain drifting to, I haven't done something yet. But just enjoying where you are, the journey so far, celebrating that. Exhale, release. We are going to bend that right knee, hugging it in towards your belly, enjoying the release in your hip. You're going to take your left hand, grab the outer edge of your right foot, and stretch your right leg long. And you'll have a stretch in the right hip and IT band. If it feels good, you can bring your hand behind you and twist to the right. Growing tall from your root of your spine through the crown of your head. Twists are a spine lengthener. Press that right foot towards the front. Huge breath in. And if you wish to gaze a little farther to the right, do that. Bend your knee, bringing it back down, and give it a hug. You're going to pick up that shin and place it on the outer edge of the left thigh, hugging it in as tight as you can. Your right arm is going to give that right knee a huge hug, and you'll take your left hand behind, tent it, and grow as tall as you can. Crown of the head reaches tall towards the sky. Drop that left shoulder and gaze over the left if you can. Enjoying it. Coming back to center, pick up that right shin, bring it back to the right side. Right sole of the foot's going to come to the inner left thigh. And you'll find your sit bones again. Have a nice rock. Breathing in, inhale your arms up towards the sky. Twist gently to the left. Exhale, fold forward. Grab the outer edge of the left foot or the left calf and drop your head and neck. Release and enjoy the right rib cage here. Your left hand can wrap all the way into the right hip crease if you would like. Breathing in and fully enjoying it. Pour the breath into every nook and cranny of the lungs, reaching every tiny alveoli in the bottom. You can envision the breath like a dishwasher. I love clean dishes coming out of the dishwasher. You can envision your lungs that way. Bringing that left hand back to the side, sliding your right hand up the left leg. You're going to bring it behind your right hip about 18 inches. Place your palm down. Your left toes are going to turn to the right and lift up into Wild Thing because it's fun. Stretching that whole left side body, outer edge of the left foot, through the left fingers. You can draw that left hand back and gaze up if you have more room and it would feel good. Bringing your hand back to neutral, lowering down. And you'll extend that right leg long. Find your sit bones once again. And you'll hug your left knee in towards you, giving it a huge hug. Release that hip. Find a spot for it around your belly and your chest, wherever it fits perfectly. You will take your right hand, grab the outer edge of the left foot and extend it long, sending some love into that left leg. Your left hand can come behind you like a cupcake and gaze over to the left, enjoying it. Press the left sole of the foot towards the front. Grow tall in your spine from the root of your spine all the way through the crown of your head. One more breath here, enjoying that twist, massaging your internal organs as an act of kindness. They need massages too. Coming back to center, bend that left knee. You'll pick it up and place that left foot on the outer edge of the right thigh. Your left hand's going to give your left leg a hug, squeezing it tight into your belly as you grow tall. Grow your spine tall before you twist. And the right hand is going to come behind And you'll gaze over the right shoulder, growing as tall as you can. A huge breath in and out. Once again, in and out. Coming back to center. You'll pick up that left foot, bring the left sole of the foot into the right inner thigh. Find your belly. Inhale, reach tall, engage your belly, twist gently to the right and fold over. Your left hand's going to come to the outer edge of the right foot or shin. It might look different than on the other side. And you'll wrap that right hand into the left hip crease and enjoy the breath, enjoy the twist, enjoy the massage of your internal organs. Sending the breath to every tiny alveoli in the bottom of the lungs. Bringing your right hand back to the right side, sliding up that right leg. You'll take your left hand about 18 inches behind you, drop your right toes to the left, and lift up into wild thing and enjoy it. Outer edge of the right foot on the earth, right fingers reaching all the way towards the left. Coming back to the earth. Stretch your left leg long and move the flesh of your seat out of the way with kindness. Inhale, reaching tall once again, and another forward fold. Release your lower back, release your head and neck, and point your toes. Send some love to the shins and enjoy them. And flex your ankles. Toes will come towards your nose. Notice how that feels. Spread your toes wide. Notice this subtle little shift, big shift in the back of the legs. And slowly sliding up to a seat. With elegance, we will sweep our legs around, coming to hands and knees. When you set that intention of grace or elegance, it's much more fun. And even just adding in that word can change the way you approach yourself and your body. As you come to hands and knees, spread your fingers wide, equal pie shapes, and flatten the palmar surface towards the floor to protect your wrists. If your wrists don't like this, you can also come fists on the earth. Notice what feels best to you. Flat back. To begin, your knees are hips width, tops of the feet lightly on the floor. Arch into cow pose and enjoy and send some love to that front of the belly that doesn't get much attention. And exhale, round, suck your navel all the way up, enjoying each tiny little muscle fiber in your back. Inhale for cat. And exhale, round, suck your belly up. Coming back to a flat back, we're going to come down to our forearms, coming into puppy pose. Wiggle your elbows forward. Your fingers will be spread wide and you'll lower your forehead to the floor. Your rear end is going to stick up a little bit. And enjoy your shoulders here. Notice if you're holding your breath. And let it out on the exhale. Noticing your heart hanging light in your chest here. Inviting it to fill and soften. And with your head on the earth, your mind grounded, thinking of all the places you have come so far, all the places you've been, the places you and your body have traveled, the amazing things you've learned, all the humans you've loved, all the birds and butterflies you've appreciated. Monarch butterfly season is coming to California. And it's really cool. And we don't pause to notice the butterflies. And so taking that time to appreciate all those beautiful butterflies you've seen, birds you've seen, even down to the squirrels and the lizards, noticing how far you've come. And the joy in the presence along the way,
perhaps an invitation to enjoy the present. Send the breath into your shoulders once again, appreciating them for accompanying you on the journey, all the suitcases they've carried, and tension of decision making they've carried, softening in. And you'll slowly bring your elbows back with kindness, lifting up to hands and knees. We're going to come forward onto our belly into Sphinx pose to send some love to the lower back. Palms will be on the floor, forearms will be on the floor, your elbows will be directly under your shoulders, and send some love to that lower back. Gazing your heart forward, squeezing your glutes, pressing the front of your hips into the floor, and your toes are very light. Pour the breath into the lower back. And exhale, release. 2 more breaths here. If it's too much, just lower down, but notice what feels good to your back. I'll tell you that when I first started doing yoga, I couldn't do this at all. My back was very sticky and stuck. And the more you practice, things begin to shift. I don't know even when I began to be able to do it, but now it feels amazing. And so noticing perhaps in your practice today what feels amazing. You will curl your toes now. Walk your hands back, always coming into child's pose after Sphinx pose as an act of kindness to release your lower back. Placing your forehead on the floor and enjoy. Pour the breath into your lower back. And exhale, let it out. 3 big breaths here. Sink your hips down low, perhaps have a little wiggle. And when you feel complete, coming back to hands and knees, you'll walk your hands forward, 8-hand print, and curl up into downward dog. Reach your hips up towards the sky, towards the apex, and enjoy this downward dog. Have a little walk. Raise your left foot towards the sky, engage your belly, and gently bring your left foot between your hands. We're going to come into Anjaneyasana, a low lunge. Wiggle those left toes as far forward as you can. Make sure your knee does not extend beyond your ankle, and take good care of that back knee here. Noticing if you need to slide forward so you're coming off the kneecap. And pause here, sinking in. Your hands can be on blocks if you have blocks, or resting lightly on the left thigh. Tack that left hip forward and your right hip back. And reach the crown of your head towards the sky, breathing into that right hip flexor, enjoying it. Two more breaths here. We'll lower our hands to either side of that front foot. Curl your back toes, coming up into a high lunge. You'll place your right hand on the floor, spreading your fingers like equal pie shapes, and twist to the left, enjoying all of the sensations here. Bring your left hand back to the earth. Hop your back foot forward about 6 inches, and you'll rise up into a high lunge, reaching your arms towards the sky. Tack that left hip back, right hip forward. On the exhale, sink in. Huge breath in, reaching your fingers as tall as you can, stretching the front of your body. Exhale, sink in. One more big breath here. Exhale, sink. Bring your hands to heart center, and we're going to hop that back foot forward and tip into warrior 3 to fly because it's fun. Press off the back toes and tip forward into warrior 3, leaving your hands at heart center if that feels good. If you would like, you can spread your arms out or spread them forward. Do what feels good to your shoulder. And when you feel complete, you'll bring your back foot down, opening it up into warrior two stance. So your toes will reach a little bit wider and you'll cartwheel your arms open. Sink that front knee forward and enjoy it. Notice if your back hand is dipping, even them out. Gaze over the front middle finger. Huge inhale, drop your right hand down that right thigh, reaching back towards the crease between the wall and the ceiling, and enjoy your front rib cage. Creating space to breathe. Cartwheeling back to warrior two. Pause here. Straight your front knee, slide your right hand back down and tilt backwards with a straight knee, noticing a slight difference here. And coming back to warrior two. Bend your left forearm, reach your right arm over, coming into side angle pose. Enjoy that. Cartwheeling back up to warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips and turn to the side of your mat here. Your feet will be lined up with the front and back of your mat to start. Hinge forward at the waist and reach towards the earth. If you need a block, you can use that. You might need a chair. Pausing where it feels good. If you would like to bring your hands back between your feet and stretch the backs of the legs, do that. Enjoying it. And we will bring our hands back to our hips and rise up with a flat back. Turn your toes to the back of your mat. And you're going to bring your hands by the front foot, bend the back knee, coming into that low lunge on this side. And take a minute to adjust yourself here so that you're being kind. Hands will rest lightly on your right thigh. Shimmy that back knee back and tack the right hip back and the left hip forward. And if it feels good, you can raise your hands up, sending some love to the front left hip flexor. Breathing. Lower your hands to either side of that right foot. Curl your back toe. Your left hand's fingers are going to spread wide, equal pie shapes, and gaze to the right. Enjoying it fully. Lower the right hand. You'll hop your back foot forward about 6 inches into a high lunge and rising up. Notice what feels good to you today, what distance. Reaching your arms towards the sky, tack your right hip back, left hip forward, and sink in. If your right knee is extending beyond your right foot, wiggle your toes a little farther forward. And if at any point your mat is doing funny things, things are not quite right, take a moment to get them right. We often just keep going because we're supposed to. Tack your right hip back, left hip forward, reaching your hands as far towards the sky as you can. Bringing your hands back to your sacrum, clasp the shoulders down towards the floor and drop your chin, release your neck. Chin coming back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to hop forward into warrior three and have a little fly again because it's fun. And engaging your right leg, noticing how well you can do whatever of this you can do. And have a little fun with it. And bring your hands to your hips. Notice what feels good to your body, which is going to be different than anyone else's body here. And when you feel complete, you'll lower your back leg down into warrior 2 feet.
And cartwheel, open your hands. Your right knee should not go in front of that right ankle. So just notice. Gaze is over the right middle finger, drishti. Notice this warrior here, a strong warrior, but not gripping or pushing as we think of a warrior, standing tall, steady, grounded, centered, calm. That's the invitation of warrior in yoga. Left hand's going to slide down the left thigh. Reach your right arm over towards the crease of the ceiling and the back wall. Fan your ribs open. Enjoy them. Wiggle those front fingers. Coming back to warrior two. Straight your front knee. Drop that left hand again and come back into peaceful warrior here. Noticing here in peaceful warrior, what would it take for you to feel peaceful? What thoughts might you like to let go of? Or what might you like to pay attention to instead to bring in a little more peace? That's the invitation of yoga, shifting your perspective, shifting your attention so your heart can grow, your presence can grow, your life can feel better and be better. Bend that front knee, coming back to warrior two. You'll bring your right forearm to your right hip, extend the left arm long, coming into side angle pose. Enjoy the whole left side body, no matter what it looks like, enjoying it. Stretching, filling every tiny nook and cranny here. Coming back to warrior two. Bringing your hands to your hips, we'll turn our feet towards the side of the mat. And we're going to bring them into second position for anyone who did ballet on a slight angle. Bending your knees, coming into goddess pose. I always like goddess pose. Sink your hips down. Your knees will be pointing towards your toes. Make sure you're not wonky here. Bring your hands to your hips and raise your right heel and lower it. And raise your left heel and lower it. And then we'll raise both heels. Just notice how you feel. And lowering them down towards the floor. Shooting your hands and your knees straight, coming into star pose. Coming back down into warrior, into goddess. Your arms are going to come into cactus shape arms, lowering them down and shooting back up like a shooting star. Bring your hands to your waist and heel toe your feet together. Taking a moment here in Tadasana, our mountain pose, where we haven't been yet today. Lifting up all 10 toes, spreading them wide, and lowering them down like roots into the earth. Noticing the soles of your feet on the earth. Draw up that energy through the earth, all the way into your belly, into your solar plexus, into the whole belly region. Engaging it, feeling strong, tucking your pelvis, growing your spine, one vertebrae atop the other, all the way through the crown of your head. Drinking in the breath. Exhale, have your hands fall open towards the front, Tadasana or mountain pose. Taking a moment to appreciate all the mountains that you've climbed, all the places where you've seen beautiful mountains. And appreciating the strength of your own body in its beautiful mountain pose. Everything working together in concert. And you open your eyes, and we're going to come into tree pose. Lifting up all 5 toes on your left foot and lowering them down, noticing the 4 corners of the feet. You'll bring your right heel into your left shin. Hands can be on your hips. You'll slide the sole of your foot up to the calf. Be sure not to bring it over the knee. If you want to bring it all the way up, that's fine, but more is not better. Tuck that right knee back, engaging your glute, and reach your arms towards the sky, coming into the most beautiful tree for you. Noticing that many beautiful trees that look the most beautiful are old and have lumps and bumps and holes in them. It's a bit the invitation of yoga. We make things beautiful. It's creating beauty. For much of my life, I thought I had no artistic talent, and I have now realized that yoga is pretty much how I practice art. It's creating classes and themes, and that's my version. It's not art drawing, which my brother was exceptionally good at. Bring your hands back to heart center and bring your knee forward and lower it down. And so you can, with yoga, even if yoga is not your creative endeavor, find new ways of seeing things. You don't have to continue to tell yourself a story about your artistic talents. Spread your right toes wide and lower them down. All four corners will root into the earth to create a steady tree trunk. Your left heel is going to come to the right inner calf shin, or raise the sole of your foot up. Once again, not over your knee. Do no harm, being kind to yourself. Bring your hands to heart center for a moment to find your center, and use your toes if needed to help you balance. Coming back to the breath here before we raise our hands, no hurry. And when you feel ready, stretch your hands up towards the sky, reaching tall, growing tall into the most beautiful, elegant tree that you are, with whatever lumps and bumps and scars, all the things that make you you, turning it into that beautiful old elegant oak tree, enjoying it. Filling yourself with breath, growing the tree taller, lengthening the side body as the trunk, enjoying your right leg as the trunk. Bring your hands back to center. Bring your knee back to center and lower it down, lowering your hands down. Rolling your shoulders back 3 times, rolling your ankles out. Always being kind to yourself. And we are going to come to lie down on your mat. And as you arrive lying, notice if you'd like to roll down with knees bent or just arrive in whatever way feels good to you. Allowing yourself to land on the earth. Letting things settle. Wiggle your feet out a little bit towards the side. You're going to draw your right knee to 90 degrees and the shin towards the sky, and bring your left foot alongside, coming into tabletop, reverse table. And you'll reach your arms up towards the sky. Palms will face each other. Inhale, grow your fingers towards the sky. Exhale, drop your humeral heads into your shoulders. Inhale, extend your right arm and your left leg in front. Exhale, bring them back together. Focusing on finding your center here. Inhale, stretch long, right leg, left arm. Exhale, bringing them back to center. Opposite side. Find your center here as you extend right leg, left arm. Coming back to center. You'll take your right foot and cross it over the left knee. Thread your hands through to the back of the left thigh, coming into figure 4. Flex both ankles to be kind to your hips and your knees, and press your right elbow into that right knee. If it feels good to you, grab the front of your left shin. Enjoy the release in the hip. Have a little rock. Massage your sacrum and enjoy. Breathe. Three more breaths here. Enjoying it in whatever way feels good to you. If this is too much, you can lower your foot to the floor. Being kind, doing no harm.
When you feel complete, release your hands, lower that left sole of the foot to the floor. You're going to reach your arms overhead into an easy cactus shape and drop your left knee to the left and your right sole of your foot to the left, coming into a figure 4 twist. Enjoying that right waist. And if it feels good, gaze to the right. Letting yourself really enjoy it. Presence is joy. Being in that moment, just for a few moments, noticing the joy, noticing the tingles, noticing how you feel in this moment. Giving yourself the presence to enjoy it. Coming back to center with your gaze and then with your knees. You will lower the right foot, cross the left foot over the right. Thread your hands through, coming into figure 4. Ankles will be flexed to protect your knees. And if your right foot should be on the floor, because that's what's healthy and happy for you, please do that. Some of you might like to put your right foot on the wall. That also feels amazing, depending on your home setup. Coming back to the breath and noticing if this side's different than the other. Rolling your right ankle, inviting some lightness into it. Have a little rock massage your sacrum. And when you feel complete on this side, lower your right sole of the foot to the floor. Raise your arms over your head into an easy cactus shape. And drop that left sole of the foot to the right and the outer edge of the right knee to the right. And enjoy your left waist hip area. Breathing in, and if it feels good, gaze to the left on the exhale. Enjoy the last 3 breaths here. Allowing yourself to slow and settle. Bring your gaze back to center and your knees back to center. Uncross the knees. Bringing your feet to hips width, lower your hands by your side. Walk your heels towards your rear end and lift up into an easy bridge. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Release your back, your hips, your shoulders. Heart will be light against gravity. Let it fill here. Let yourself enjoy it. Engage your hips, reach tall, everything engaged. You'll also notice your throat chakra all squunched up here. You may notice you feel like this even when you're not squunched up. An invitation to notice what you might not be saying to yourself and others, sending some love into that throat chakra. And as you untuck your shoulders and roll down like pearls on a string, notice your throat open up and what that feels like. And as you arrive on the earth, sending some attention to your throat. Is there anything there that you're not saying to yourself or to others that needs to be said? Yoga is a process of insight and learning and knowing. Hug your knees into your chest. Have a huge squeezy hug. Hug your forehead towards your knees, squeezing as tight, tight, tight as you can. On the exhale, lower your feet and we'll extend long into Shavasana. You need a pillow under your knees or a blanket because it's cold where you are. Feel free to grab that. And notice if you'd like your hands facing up or facing down. Settling into the earth, letting the earth hold you here. Letting your body breathe for itself. And bringing your hands to the outer edge of your mat, just massaging the mat with your fingers, noticing that you're held on something and letting go, settling in, and let yourself let go, surrender, and enjoy. Relax, restore, replenish. Shavasana is the integration pose. Letting all the thoughts that flowed through your head land, letting the tingles, the physiologic shifts settle in, seep into every nook and cranny, into the DNA of each cell while you rest. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. If you're ready to come out, gently begin to deepen your breath. No hurry, no rush, little by little. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And taking in a huge inhale, stretch in whatever way feels good to you, perhaps long above, long in front. But what might feel good to you today is different. Giving yourself the gift of a delicious stretch. Exhaling, let it go. Roll over to one side. In that fetal position, enjoy a pause. And in that pause, choose how you would like to move forward for today. Notice how amazing you feel. And from that spot of feeling relaxed and calm, choosing how you would like to enjoy today and the week ahead, and perhaps the month ahead or the season ahead. And when you're ready, slowly transition back up to a seat, connecting your ischial spines back into the earth. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward, align your spine all the way towards the sky, hands on your knees, palms up, open to possibility, to opportunity, to something new, or to what is. Open-hearted, open-minded. Taking in a big, deep, nourishing breath here. And huge exhale. And bringing hands to heart, both hands, one atop the other, hand on heart. Sending your heart some love and kindness and appreciation for its journey through this beautiful thing we call life. And sending everyone who's joining us their hearts, love and kindness and appreciation for their journeys.
taking a moment to share a wish for peace for everyone here and everyone on this planet. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and to many of you for practicing with me over the last few years. May we all be well. May we all be safe. May we all be present. May we all discover joy and celebrate how far we've come and where we are today and every day. Have a beautiful week ahead. Namaste.